Hey, what's up everybody? Tony with Lido Loca. I'm here with the daily cruise updates, and we got a pile of them. We're going to talk lawsuits. We're going to talk Holland America, and look, I got more information on the topics yesterday. And what did the stocks do? Stay to the end because it's going to be a roller coaster ride. But first, let me clean up some of the mess from yesterday. Very insightful conversation. We talked about conspiracy theories, and if you read through the comments, you realize that every one of those things I mentioned, somebody is down with. There's one I forgot to mention, the whole 5G conspiracy theory. The 5G has something to do with the virus. So if I didn't represent you in yesterday's video and you're a 5G whistleblower, there you go. There's your shout out. But the whole thing that kicked off that conversation, our friend from the north traveling with Bruce, talking about how the White House somehow controls the CDC. And man, if you read the comments on Bruce's video, a lot of people they weren't really okay, never mind. But let me just say that people weren't necessarily down with that idea. And I put the word out there. Look, I didn't know where that came from. I did see some of the stuff he was talking about, and then somebody, Teresa Connor, in the comments yesterday, one of the viewers of yesterday's video, she gave me the link to the Bloomberg article where I do believe it's the source material for this assertion that the White House is controlling the CDC. Now, the word comes from this guy, C. Patrick Scholes. Now, I was always told that if somebody uses three names, you got to be wary, but look, that's neither here nor there. C. Patrick Scholes, an analyst for SunTrust, he said the very thing that people got worked up about. He said that he expects the CDC to extend the no-sell order, you know, the no-sell order that's expiring on the 24th of July. He said the agency has become a political entity controlled by the executive office. That was his direct quote. He said, citing commentary from large travel agencies that he had spoken to, so some people that he knows, the executive office wants to avoid anything that could raise COVID case numbers ahead of the November election. So we have C. Patrick Scholes to thank for some of the conversation that we've had yesterday, and this was, again, the impetus for the commentary that Bruce laid out there. Ironically, adding fuel to the fire is the news that came out yesterday afternoon that there would be a change in the way information would be reported. No longer will the CDC be getting the information directly from hospitals about what's going on in the United States. It's going to a different place that's controlled by the White House. So add that in and see if that adds up. But yes, a little fuel to the fire added on yesterday. Like Mulder and Scully said, the truth is out there. It's out there. It's up for us to decide, and you can't shoot the messenger. And so there it is. Another interesting story I want to share with you guys. There is a federal judge who said that people who are on the Grand Princess, they cannot sue the cruise line for fear of the virus. There is a couple that sued the Grand Princess, that sued Princess, owned by Carnival Corporation, sued them saying that, look, we have emotional distress because we went on this cruise and we were afraid that we would get the virus. Now, the judge says, look, you didn't get the virus. I'm not going to let you just sue them for fear. The judge very specifically said, look, if we accept this lawsuit and we let these folks sue the cruise line for the fear that they might get the virus, because supposedly everybody knows that the virus is out there, then this opens up lawsuits across the board. Every business, every place that opens up and serves customers would now be on the hook for potentially emotional distress because you could get the virus or potentially get the virus when you're living your life. The judge said, no way. The couple that brought this case, they say very clearly that the cruise line allowed them to board the ship even though passengers who disembarked the same day had symptoms. And therefore, the cruise line knew that there was a potential for them to get sick, and they did not protect them, and they should be able to get emotional distress based off of these facts, even though they didn't get the virus. Again, this could just be the beginning of the way court cases are treated, but you know that as all these things settle out, there's going to be tons of litigation for people dealing with the virus, but at least in this first one, the judge has shut it down. We'll have to keep following it. I'm going to tell you one thing that showed no fear yesterday was the cruise stocks. Fun day to be a cruise investor. A lot of people speculate because there was some good information out yesterday about a potential vaccine that the stocks trended up. Man, the cruise stocks, they're hard to track, but a big day yesterday for a lot of the stocks. Carnival Cruise Line opening $16.13. closed at $17.48. It gained $1.35. It gained 8.4%, almost a 10% increase. I'll tell you who hit 10%. Royal Caribbean, starting at $51.67, went all the way up to $58.38. It gained $6.71. How would you like to have been in that stock yesterday with a few thousand shares? That would have been a nice mover. 13% increase. And the winner of the day yesterday, the biggest mover percentage-wise, NCL, starting $16.32, $18.68 is what it closed out, $2.36. That's a 14.5% increase. NCL winning the day. Now look, I'm filming this about 10:30. The stocks they're going down a little bit today. Don't know how it's going to play out. Tune in tomorrow to see what the recap is. But if you were an investor yesterday, stocks were good. So good for the stocks, but let's talk Turkey, specifically the country of Turkey. Turkey is going to be a buzzword, significant in cruising as we go forward. If you hear that a cruise ship's making its way to Turkey, there is a good chance that that cruise ship's going to be scrapped, like the Primo Kulo Mano scrapyard in Turkey. And this is where all the speculation around the Fantasy took off. They dumped a bunch of stuff in Curacao. They started heading toward Turkey. There's still some question whether or not the Fantasy is being scrapped. All sources say yes, that it is, but a lot of people are still booked on the Fantasy. It hasn't been canceled yet. Has your Fantasy cruise been canceled? Leave a comment below. Reach out to me. I really want to find out somebody getting canceled on the Fantasy, so we know whether or not my first ship is going bye-bye. But one ship that has definitely made it to Turkey is a Royal Caribbean ship, the Monarch of the Seas. It has made its final trip to Turkey, where it's going to be dismantled. This whole dismantling thing is wild. Like, you know, scrap parts, you can use the metal, you can use all the other stuff. They're basically going to gut the cruise ship, tear it apart piece by piece. It sounds very violent, it sounds very sad, but at least the material is being reused and you can't take the memories away. The Monarch of the Seas, built in 1990, making its way to Turkey to be scrapped, and maybe closely followed by the Carnival Fantasy. None of this really should be a surprise, though, if we've been listening to the leadership of the cruise industry. CEO for Carnival Corporation, Arnold Donald. He's been talking around a lot. He did an exclusive interview with Cruise Industry News, and the quote that's being repeated out of that interview is that we're going to come back leaner and stronger. Leaner is an indication to the fact that they're going to have to shrink down on ships. They're going to have to shrink down on employees. They're going to have to really tighten the purse strings. They're really going to have to get their spending under control, their operational costs under control, and all that's going to be looking at labor, looking at assets, looking at how you can do more with less. And in the wake of that, Holland America losing almost 30% of its fleet. 4 ships leaving Holland America. That's 29% of the 14 ships that they have. So talking about getting leaner, boom, you just lost almost a third of the ships that were in your fleet. Now these 4 ships are part of the 13 ships that Carnival Corporation announced that would be leaving its fleet in the next 13 days. Remember, Carnival Corporation, big holding company, owns a lot of companies, Carnival Cruise Line, Princess, Holland America, these kind of companies. And so they're getting rid of 13 ships, 9% of their fleet, and these 4 are included in it. Here's the 4 ships. So first off, in August, we have the MS Maasdam and the MS Veendam. They are being sold off. So not being scrapped, they're being sold off to another company. And then later in the fall, the MS Amsterdam and the MS Rotterdam being sold off, not scrapped. So that's good. And there's an article out there on Cruise Industry News that said Fred Olsen Cruise Line is actually buying the Amsterdam and the Rotterdam. Now these are some significant cruise ships for Holland America, and there are some itinerary changes that go along with it. The 2021 Grand World Voyage that's going to be held on the Amsterdam was supposed to be on the MS Amsterdam. It's going to be postponed till 2022, and it will sail aboard the MS Zandam. The Grand Africa Voyage departing on October the 10th, 2021 aboard the Rotterdam, which is going away. That will also sail aboard the Zandam on the same dates. We did reach out to action star Jean-Claude Van Damme, and he did not return our request for comment. I think he's off at the Kumite somewhere. All of these ships were built in the 1990s before the turn of the millennia. Some oldies but goodies all going away under the mantra for Carnival to emerge leaner and stronger. It just makes sense. And now these cruise ships are going away. I'm surprised that Fred Olsen's spending the money. Like, where are they getting the money? But yeah, they're happy to take on some of the old inventory so that when cruising starts again, of course they cruise in Europe, and that could be sooner rather than later. They're ready to do it with a couple more ships. That's probably good. More inventory in Europe, more sailing in Europe. Cruising continues on as we work out what we got to work out here in the States. Well, that's your cruise update. If you found any of this helpful, please hit the like button. My name's Tony, and until the next time, we'll see you on the Lido. Bye.